So if you're running ads on Meta, maybe you found some winning ads, but you're starting to spend 1K a day, 2K a day, 5K a day, but you're hitting a growth ceiling. Well, the reason why that might be happening is simply because your creative cannot reach cold customers. And many brands get to a ceiling with their spend because they're outspending their warm pocket audience. What happens really is that when you're advertising, you have these pockets of audiences that you want to hit. And what happens when you start advertising is usually Meta is going to start displaying your ad to the warmest pockets, the easiest pockets to get them to convert. These are very easy customers. Usually you just need to tell them their offer, maybe a still, a graphic, can communicate that, and it's super easy for them to buy. But when you're trying to scale spend, you're trying to reach more pockets of audiences. That requires different messaging to get them to convert. So in this training, I'm gonna walk through exactly how we can create high converting cold traffic ads. I'll walk through a script that works for us. So in this video, I'm gonna break down how we actively scale ad accounts and make sure that we create cold ready creative that actually converts and gets a lower CAC. So let's talk about the unaware hook. This is the key to cold traffic. The journey of any cold customer really starts here. It really starts with that initial hook, which is really the first 3 seconds, but honestly it can be once you get them hooked in for that first 3 seconds, is really the 10 to 15 seconds at the beginning. Most ads fail immediately because they assume the viewer is already aware of the problem your product solves. They lead with features, benefits, and discounts. That works for retargeting or a warmer audience, but it's a death sentence for cold traffic. A person scrolling their feed doesn't know they have a problem yet. They might have a general sense of unease, of frustration, but they can't quite name it. They're not really aware of the problem that they're experiencing in their daily life. So your job in the first 10 to 15 seconds is to give a name to that feeling. You need to articulate their frustration better than they can themselves. This is how you stop the scroll. This is how you earn the right to get their attention. Now let's look at a real world example, a men's health brand we are working with. Their product is essentially a supplement derived from beef testes designed to improve male vitality and libido. If you do something like a generic boost your testosterone naturally, the generic ineffective ad would scream boost your testosterone naturally, but that ad doesn't work on cold traffic because the target customer isn't searching for a testosterone booster. He might just be feeling off. So instead, our strategy at TVG is to start from a place of complete unawareness, because this is where most of our cold customers are in. They don't have any awareness of their problem, nor the solution that you guys provide. So we challenge brands to think about the symptoms of low vitality, not the cause. So for this brand, instead of saying, boost your testosterone naturally, here is a winning hook that's actually compelling and that will pull in a new customer. 5 signs high performer burnout is hurting your relationship and why modern routines can't fix it. This immediately stops me in my tracks. If I'm a male, high performing, higher income that's in a relationship and maybe my relationship's feeling a little bit off and I've tried modern things or modern routines to fix it, this is going to capture my attention. And notice nothing about this says testosterone, nothing about this says our product. It's simply calling out a problem that a bunch of men will probably resonate with. This headline works because it speaks to a deeper, more emotional pain point. It makes the ad relevant to a huge pool of cold prospects who would have ignored a product-focused message. It's the first step to making cold traffic profitable. Now we need to deepen the problem and build trust to lower customer acquisition costs. Once you've hooked in the unaware customer, the next 15 to 20 seconds of your story are dedicated to making them problem aware. This is where you build the trust required to convert a stranger into a customer. You take that initial vague feeling and make it specific, tangible, and undeniable. And this is how you lower your effective customer acquisition costs by creating such a strong connection with the viewer so that they are pre-sold before they even see the price. Okay, so now that we have the hook that we identified, 5 signs high performer burnout is hurting your relationship and why modern routines can't fix it, now we go into deepening that problem, right? So here's a few examples of what the next part of the script can look like. You're physically present, but your mind is a million miles away. You're snapping at her over small things and you hate yourself for it. Or the things that bring you joy now feel like a chore and your body has gone into survival mode. And you're trying to get through the day. These are more things, so we got them in the hook. And again, we still haven't mentioned our product. We are going deeper into the problem. We are resonating with the cold audience. And we're basically putting in the knife, that's the hook, and then we are twisting it with digging deeper into the problem, right? And every single time, someone that is, interested in something like this, they're saying, yes, it's me, yes, it's me, yes, it's me. Okay, great, so we're more bought in. So we have the first 3 seconds. Then we have 10-ish seconds here. And then next, we have to introduce the solution. The path to a scalable ad account is making sure we build this all up and then presenting the solution here. Beef testes can improve libido naturally without the unwanted side effects. So if you want to have obviously a transition here, so if you're tired of feeling like this, you might want to try, beef testes. And obviously beef testes is kind of a polarizing idea, but you can say something like, add some social proof. That's why millions of men are using products like beef testes can improve libido naturally without the unwanted side effects. That's why, you can talk about not only libido, but all these problems as well, how it solves that. And so that's like, okay, so I have all these problems. Yes, I'm agreeing to all this. And then here's a solution, and then layering in social proof, right? And of course, throughout all this script, we want to have really strong visuals of every single stage of this, right? You want to have a compelling hook. You want to have videos of probably like a couple or like a man on the couch feeling tired. And then you can bring it down to the actual solution. And then really what I want to add a part of this is tons of social proof, right? And say, this is why thousands of men or 5-star reviews. This is why it's our best-selling product on Amazon have tried this. And you might even be able to throw on the screen some testimonials here. And then right here, once you say, okay, this is the solution, right? Beef testes can improve libido naturally. Then you go into your product specifically. How do you source it? How is it high quality? And the unique formulation that you guys use. And lastly, you end with the offer, right? You end with an offer. Maybe there is a bundle pack. Maybe there's a discount. You say call to action, click below to buy now. So this is huge, right? Notice how we're not just leading with the beef. A lot of brands make the mistake of like leading with the product information right at the top. If we're trying to reach a cold audience, we really need to educate them about the problem. Now, bonus points here if you're trying to reach a cold customer is then you can create a landing page or what we call a pre-sale page. And a pre-sale page, the whole point of this is not to go direct response and get them to buy right away. It's to continue to emphasize all of these pain points, right? So a pre-sale page can be like a listicle. That's, the 5 reasons why listicle. So like 5 reasons why high performing men are struggling in their relationships or whatever it is. It breaks down point A, point B, point C, and then it has a call to action at the end for your product. Like this is a great way to warm up cold traffic because what happens is you'll get tons of clicks, tons of view time on this. And then what happens is your customers are getting brought through the funnel. So they're aware, you brought them aware of their problem, they get hit with this. Maybe they don't even buy right away on this page. Maybe they do. Of course, certainly customers will buy right away, but then they're in your retargeting audience where they'll start to see your more direct response ads, right? And your more direct response ads can go right to a product page, right, where they can buy. So it's really important that as we're advertising and as we're trying to reach colder audiences, we start thinking about how can we tell a story that more cold customers can get pulled into, then they can get hit with more direct response ads. So to wrap this all up, how do you create a high converting cold traffic ad script for your brand? You want to lead with an unaware hook. You want to deepen the problem. You want to introduce the solution and then call out your unique selling props with social proof and then have a strong call to action to an offer. And then even bonus points if you want to layer in and try a pre-sale page that you drive traffic to. That is how you can reduce your customer acquisition costs and acquire new customers much more profitably. If you've enjoyed this training, I put out weekly trainings around e-commerce and how to scale your brand from paid acquisition, retention, really the whole 9 when it comes to scaling an e-commerce brand online. So if you'd like content like this, make sure to subscribe, leave a like if you got value from this video here. And if you'd like me to personally audit your brand and figure out how we can scale your account, then I'll leave a link down below to book in a call with me personally. And I look forward to speaking with you soon.